This presentation is for individuals who would like to become state licensed in your home to provide quality childcare in Alaska. Coeric Child Care Services will provide guidance and direct assistance throughout your application process to obtain your home license for daycare. When you obtain your State of Alaska home license, you are a state licensed home provider, and you agree to abide by health and safety regulations to provide quality child care to children in your community. You become an early childhood professional. With your state-approved home license, you increase your income by accepting subsidy payments from eligible families who receive assistance from the State Child Care Assistance Program or Coeric's Child Care Assistance Program. As a licensed provider, you are eligible to care for up to 8 children under the age of 13, including your own children. You begin the licensing process by applying for a provisional license. More information can be found on the state's website. The provisional license application contains a lot of paperwork, but you are not in this process alone. Coeric Child Care Services will help you through the entire process. The application starts with the permission to operate a child care business completed by yourself or your landlord if you are renting. The administrator designation and qualifications includes a copy of your birth certificate or state ID to ensure your age. 4 references are needed from unrelated persons using the Child Care Facility Administrator Reference Form. Copies of any training or certificates of completion or a resume is an easy way to provide your education and experience. Your completed basic health and safety trainings that are required by the state, as well as your first aid CPR certification, are submitted with your administrator designation as well. Licensing information can be found on the state's website. Your application includes your child care's parent policies. These policies include your enrollment procedures, fees and payment procedures, hours of operation, your plan of supervision, the number of children and ages you will care for, your policies for sick children and permission to give medication procedures, your daily schedule, your policy on screen time or how much TV, computer, and video time. You will include your behavior guidance practices, your cold weather outdoor play policy, your parent permission policy for activities away from your home, your transportation policy, if any, your policy on parents visiting and accessing you and the children, and finally a policy on substitutes or emergency caregivers. Coeric Child Care Services is here to help you create your daycare's policies and procedures. A parent policies template is available to you to create your parent policies so that none are left out. Animals are allowed in your daycare and must be acknowledged in your application for licensure. If you have pets in your home, then you must have copies of current immunizations. If you have a cage, kennel, or an aquarium in your home, then it must be cleaned and sanitized regularly, as well as your pet's waste removed frequently and not around any food preparation. There are some pets that aren't allowed, such as reptiles, ferrets, and some birds. Work with Coeric Child Care Services to ensure your family's pets are permitted. Most homes in rural Alaska have firearms. For safety, firearms must be unloaded and stored in a locked place not visible to children. Either a combination lock or a latchkey lock can be used. Ammunition should be stored separately and also inaccessible to your children. The combination or key to your firearms needs to be inaccessible and stored in a separate location. Safety of children is of the utmost importance. Work with Coeric Child Care Services to meet your safety requirements. we can provide direct assistance for required safety locks and storage. Many of our homes include plants. If you have plants in your home, research and find out if any are poisonous. On your application, identify and name the specific location of plants inside or outside your home, and create a plan to protect children from the plants, such as fencing off the area or keeping these plants inaccessible to children in your care. COERIC can provide assistance with meeting these safety precautions. There are optional forms in your application depending on the daycare services you choose to provide. If you decide to operate your daycare after 10 p.m. through 6 a.m., that include the request for nighttime care specialization form. If you choose to take children on wilderness walks, allow biking, or take children camping, then you will need to include a request for specialized program activity. Discuss these options with COERIC Child Care Services to see if they apply to your daycare. Alaska's Department of Child Care has information that is required for parents. The state has copies of a Parent's Guide to Licensed Child Care. This brochure can be given to all parents when they enroll their child in your daycare. In addition, parents need a copy of your policy on suspension and expulsion from your daycare, as well as your policy for notifying parents about changes in your daycare's policy. Your application will include your plan of operation. Your plan of operation consists of your parent policies, your plan of supervision, which can be included in your parent policies, your disaster preparedness and emergency evacuation plan that contains your first aid kit checklist, and other rules related to your facility, such as addressing behavior challenges, children with special needs, or alternate outdoor recreational spaces. A fire plan needs to be submitted in your home license application. When you provide child care for more than 5 children, then a fire plan review application must be included. COERIC Child Care Services can assist you with any fees that may be required or needed safety requirements such as fire extinguishers or smoke alarms. The State Fire Marshal will review your plan and approve it. There is no on-site inspection as long as your plan is approved. However, the Fire Marshal may complete an on-site inspection at a later date. There are optional approvals from the Department of Environmental Conservation based on your home. The state's licensing agent can guide you through this process with the support from COERIC Child Care Services. If your home uses well water, then a water sample is sent to an approved lab for testing of coliform and nitrates. More information may be found on the DEC's website. In addition, if your home uses a septic system, then approval from the DEC or from an engineer needs to be obtained. More information can be found on DEC's website. If your home does not have running water, then COERIC Child Care Services will work with you and the state licensing for alternative measures for compliance with health and safety regulations. In any community, it's a good idea to contact your city office to notify them that you will be operating a business in your home. When the state's fire marshal visits your community, he or she can coordinate inspections through your city office. The Alaska Background Check Program, or BCP, is used for criminal background checks in Alaska. A valid criminal history check is required for all family members or household members who are 16 years and older and reside in your home. This is for the safety of children you will be caring for. You must have a MyAlaska username and password with a valid email address, as well as fingerprints to submit your application on the Alaska Background Check System. More information may be found on the State of Alaska's website. Regulations require all caregivers to have a pediatric cardiopulmonary resuscitation or CPR and first aid certifications. COERIC provides training every year to their early childhood educators, and all caregivers in our region are welcome to attend. COERIC Child Care Services can provide assistance to attend these trainings. Provide a copy of both sides of your valid certifications and submit them with your application. As a home licensed child care provider, you agree to follow high standards for health and safety. Part of becoming an early childhood professional is taking training to increase your knowledge of health and safety for children. You can complete these health and safety basics training online, which takes about 6 hours. Topics include creating safe spaces for children in your care, transportation safety, handling and storage of hazardous materials, emergency preparedness, the prevention and control of infectious disease, food and allergic reactions and how to respond to these reactions safely, safety regulations for administering medication to children in your care, prevention of shaken baby syndrome or abusive head trauma, and sleep practices for infants and children to prevent sudden infant death syndrome or SIDS. More information can be found on the Better Kid Care's online professional development website. As a licensed child care provider, you agree to become an advocate for all children. You are part of your community's leaders who are mandatory reporters of child abuse and neglect. You can complete the mandatory reporter training online. As an early childhood professional, you are legally required to report child abuse in Alaska. Upon completion of the online course, you will print a certificate of completion to include in your provisional license application. More information can be found on the State of Alaska's website for mandatory reporting. You will have a licensed daycare business that requires a business license. You can apply online for a State of Alaska business license. Tips and reminders. Select your business name carefully. Double check your spelling. No special characters or symbols may be used, and you must operate and advertise with the exact name of your business. License fees are non-refundable, and every license expires on December 31st, regardless of your purchase date. There are benefits to having a business license. First, you can be proud that you own a business. It feels good to have ownership of something that benefits your community. Having a business license protects you against being shut down for having an illegal business. A business license creates a separate entity from yourself, and you are able to deduct your daycare business expenses. It's also easier to report your daycare income and report any business losses on your annual taxes. It's time to submit your child care home license application. Once the state receives your home license application, they will assign a child care licensing specialist to review your application. If any items are missing, then you will be notified and have 15 days to complete any missing items. If needed, you may request an extension for more time. COERIC Child Care Services can provide direct assistance to you to complete your missing items. Your state licensing specialist will also be a great resource and provide guidance on what needs to be completed. Once you have a completed application, state licensing will schedule your orientation and on-site inspection within 90 days. The licensing orientation includes a time to review your application with the licensing specialist one-on-one. You have the opportunity to ask any questions about licensure. An on-site inspection will be scheduled, which takes about 3 hours. The inspection involves a thorough examination and evaluation to ensure that your facility, your home, meets the regulatory health and safety requirements for licensure. Prior to the inspection, you will have a copy of the inspection checklist. This inspection involves a walkthrough of the inside of your home and the outside property. Measurements will be taken to ensure there is enough space for the number of children you plan to care for. Photos will be taken and vehicles inspected, if any, to ensure safe transport of children. Remember that if there's an area that does not comply with regulations, you can submit a general variance and state an alternative method to keep children protected and safe. If there are findings or areas of concern that need to be corrected before licensure, then these will be reviewed with you. Coeric Child Care Services will be your support and provide direct assistance to correct areas of concern. We want to help you get licensed. Once you have met all of the requirements, then a provisional license will be issued. It will be effective the first day of the following month and will be valid for 1 year. During this year, your facility will be monitored through announced and unannounced inspections to ensure compliance with licensing regulations and requirements. This first year will be a learning year for you, so be open to learning more about caring for children in your home. Any findings can be corrected, and Coeric Child Care Services will help you with your corrections so your home is in compliance. Soon, new ways of doing things will become normal for you and routine. Before the end of your first year, complete the Biennial Child Care License Packet to renew your license for 2 years. Begin the process today. You can do it. Coeric Child Care Services can help you. Let's do this together.